Heading to Surindar's cradle? I hope you brought your own water skin. Or you could buy one off me. My rates are reasonable, given the drought. Water, or rather the lack of it. Something stopped the flow from the aqueduct to Surindar's cradle. I've been hauling water for them in the meantime, but they can't keep this up forever. Don't know. Old stones, old gates and levers, who can say for sure? I overheard the adepts discussing the trouble. A young one, Vosby, seems keen to solve the issue. If you want to know more, she's the person to ask.
We must do something about the water, Silujo. If you would just...
No adept can face the wastes alone, child. This one insists you stay.
Vosby cannot understand. Only puddles remain in the Adeptorium cisterns, but still Silujo forbids this one to act. Our Adeptorium, Srendra's cradle, is parched by a drought. We rely on the Anequina aqueduct to supply our water, but something halted the flow. Now adepts and pilgrims go thirsty. We tend to the sick here. Without water, many of them may die. No, and we never will if Silujo gets his way. He yowls about the risks, but Vosby is not the saucer-eyed kitten she was when Silujo found her. This one must fix this. You're a warrior, yes? Would you escort Vosby to investigate the aqueduct? Thank you for helping, Rook. We should investigate the nearest gate of the aqueduct, just south of here. Srendar willing, we will find whatever blocks the water there. Vosby will meet you soon. This one must speak to Silujo before she leaves. No. My teachers examined the Order's histories and found no evidence of droughts in the past. But we live in curious times, yes? Dragons fly, dead walk. A broken aqueduct would not seem out of place. Vosby does not think so. Before the water reaches Srendar's cradle, it passes Rimen. And for all the city's problems, a drought is not one of them. That means the flow is blocked somewhere between the city and the Adeptorium. The Adeptorium itself? I know only that our ancestors built it in the days of 16 kingdoms. Vosby has no ears for ancient history. This one does know that the Adeptorium has always been a place of healing, a refuge for all, no matter how ill. We do what we can, but Vosby fears it is not enough. Many come with seared flesh and blackened lungs, from the flames and smoke, you see. Others come with broken limbs. Most of our palliatives and salves require water, so you see the urgency, yes? About Vosby? Oh, this one's life is not so exciting, but if you insist. Vosby is an initiate and servant of Srendar. A healer in training also. Silujo and the other monks raised this one here in the cradle. Thank you for helping, Rook. We should investigate the nearest gate of the... I found it! We should examine the gate at the top of the ramp. Open and dry, as expected. Hopefully we'll find the blockage at the second gate. Busby hopes we can find the problem soon. Otherwise we may have to investigate the Bandar span. A portion of the aqueduct that runs through Bandar's litter. A canyon to the east of the Adeptorium. Silujo forbids us to go there, ever since this one was a Jakajit. Busby does not know. She has, at times, heard whispers from the older adepts. Something about the Nahatan flu. This one asked Silujo outright about the place years ago. He only shook his head and said it was far, far from Srenda's light. Busby will be right behind you, but be careful, Walker. Silujo can be overprotective, but he would not resort to lies to hold us back. The dangers of the wastes are real, as you know. Truly, I hate to worry him, but Busby must do this. Caught you! Busby is a quick study, yes? Let's examine this new gate. Dry. Zispo. Wait, what is this? Curious. This scrap of cloth. Busby knows it well. It is part of a Srendar adept's habit. One of the old ones we don't wear anymore. Could an adept have been out here? Vasby does not think anyone wore it. The way it is torn, it looks like someone used it to dress a wound. Do you see the stains? This one smells blood, too. A warning, perhaps, or a clue. Maybe. Vasby is no investigator, but finding something like this near the gate feels like a sign. We should find the person, if only to make sure they are not badly hurt, yes? We could start by searching around the columns that hold the aqueduct up. Someone gravely injured may have rested in the structure's shadow. No time to waste, Walker. Let's go. Certain. After the worst of the Nahatan flu had passed, Salujo and the others burned every scrap of cloth touched by the illness. Quilts, linens, and yes, even their habits. Nothing remained of them, aside from paintings in the cloisters. It appears that way, yes. Come, whoever this belonged to may need our help. Another shred of a habit? The blood seems more spotty. From a sword, maybe. Let's keep looking. The blood trail goes cold, yes? But what is that? A cameo? The face looks... This was not dropped by accident, Walker. There must be more to find. This is a nursery rhyme, isn't it? Like the one Vasby read every night as a kitten. Srendar's mercy. Please hurry, Walker! Swaddlecloth? Vasby recognizes that pattern. Come, let's keep looking, come! And we find a death coin lost, of course. Something that gleams to take to the sands behind the stars. We should talk. The bloody bandages, the cameo, and swaddlecloth. All these trinkets and mementos lead to a forbidden place, Bandar's litter. Vasby has not been totally honest with you, Walker. This one has a very personal stake in this business. the drought. It's because of me. That is why Vasby insisted on being the one to investigate. Every year, on this one's birthday, someone leaves a gift outside the cloisters. Gifts like the nursery rhyme, coin, and cameo we found, you see? Days after the aqueduct ran dry, the gift giver left a jug of cold, fresh water outside this one's door. It was a message, you see, for Vasby. Now we find these dressings and keepsakes, all leading to Bandar's litter. Our answers are there. Old ghosts haunt this place. Angry spirits that moan and howl curses in the night. Silujo always insisted we stay away. I hate to disobey him, but we have no choice. The last sluice gate and the person we pursue are both inside. Are you prepared? We saw someone. Where do they run? We do not mean them any harm. Let's split up. We can corner him.
Who are you? Where is Rasby, beloved child? Finally, you have come home at last.
Beloved, what? I don't... Restore the water.
Water? No, no, no. You come for answers, child. Answers from ashes. Take her to our care with the Mandar Gate. Kill the other and cleanse him in flame.
quickly! Over here! Silujo saw everything. We must save Vasby, quickly, please! I may not be Vasby's father, but I feel a father's love for her. What parent would let their child wander the Kaj with a stranger? Silujo followed at a distance, but could not stop Vasby in time. The stricken cats took her deeper into the canyon. The flu. Time heals some wounds and causes others to fester. Sometimes even the greatest healer cannot see all ends. Forgive me. Silujo is an old cat. He rambles. We must go to the Bandar Gate to halt the flames and save my Vasby. There is a cavern deep within the litter. If memory serves, it ascends to the Bandar Gate. We will find the aqueduct blockage and Vasby there. Come, we must hurry. Silujo will try to make these sick, scarred cats see reason. To cure a sickness, a healer must know the ailment's cause. Old hatreds are not so different. We lose time discussing this. Have faith that all will proceed as Srendar wishes. These sick, scarred, you see, we call them the stricken. After the Nahatan flu ravaged their bodies, the people of Elsweyr cast them out. They came to Srendar's cradle once for healing, but the king's vizier would have put our adeptorium to the torch if he knew we harbored the sick. You should know the reason they hate us. They wish to burn our home because I cast them into Bandar's litter to die. Wait, Silujo must speak to you. Before we go further, we must speak. The Bandar Gate lies beyond that door. The Stricken's leader as well, Vasby's true father. His love and sorrow has turned to hatred for me. Silujo has no illusions. Death waits for this one through this passage, for the actions of his past. Silujo does not fear this death if it will save Vasby. Before it happens, though, this one must ask. You now know the story of Srendar's cradle, of the sick left to die. When this one is gone, Vasby will have questions. What will you tell her? Silujo thanks you, Walker. Choosing who lives and who dies weighs on the soul, but as a healer and a leader, I must make hard decisions. If Silujo had to do it all over again, he would make the same choice. Now come, Vasby waits. Vasby! You are unharmed, yes?
No! Silujo, no! This is my fault. Srendar, forgive me. He breathes, but faintly. Vasby will take him back to the cradle. My hands won't stop shaking. The Striken's leader, Hulzar, wields horrible magic. He told me that the adepts took me from him, that they stole everything from him. He said his... Yes, he said he left me gifts so that I would not forget him. But seeing me grow closer to Silujo, closer to the Order, twisted his tail to the breaking point. He lured Vasby here to Banda's litter. Now he plans to burn the Adeptorium. Please, Walker, if there is any way to spare Hulzar, have mercy. Vasby knows he is mad, but to lose two fathers at once... Threndar, help me. This one is so lost. Moons. Why did Silujo come here? He must have known the Stricken would kill him. This one only needed saving because she disobeyed Silujo. He came here because of Vasby. He dies because of Vasby. This one knows. Hulza told me about how he and his wife, my mother, came to the cradle with a tiny Vasby in their arms. He described the long march to Bandar's litter and the cold, moonless nights that followed. More suffering on my account. How could it not be Vasby's fault? Had Hulza's wife not carried Vasby in her womb, they never would have come to Srenda's cradle. Had Vasby not sought to restore the water, Silujo would live. Please, just find Hulzar. Vasby must work.
They took a kidney from my vengeance. Come thee. Vasby. I'm sorry.
You return. Good. Vasby already loses too much today. Silujo did not... Vasby could not... He is gone. His soul wanders the sands behind the stars now. The other adepts mourn for him as Vasby does, but they do not know the truth of his death or the cost of the water you restored. But you know. Vasby knows, and it may be too much for her to bear. Vasby loved this place. She idolized Silujo and the other healers. She prayed to Srendar for the strength and wisdom to serve as well as those who came before. But Srendar's cradle is a lie. My dream is a lie. What is Vasby to do now? The people of Elsweyr think that the adepts of the cradle worked miracles to stave off the flu. Now I see that they only hid the sick in the wilderness to let them die. How can this one just ignore that? How can I dedicate my life to such a place? Yes, this one will stay. But I will not lie about what happened here. Silujo made an impossible choice, but the people deserve to hear the truth. Thank you, Walker. We only just met, but you are the closest thing to family that Vasby has left. Brothers, sisters, Vasby must speak about Silujo's passing. Before he passed, this one learned the truth of the stricken, of the role we healers played in their suffering. No longer. In Shrendar's name, we must go to Bandar's litter. We must help the stricken, and we must try to heal this age-old wound, for their sake and for ours. Vasby has much to do. At the very least, I must find the names of the 6 guard we left to die in Bandar's litter. If any of their kin remain, they should know what happened here. I always have a moment for you, though. Other than researching this business of the stricken? Well, there are linens to clean and tinctures to make and... Oh, who am I kidding? We all need time to mourn. The loss of Silujo. It's like the heart being ripped from the body. I know. Thank you. Afterward, yes. Research and making amends, I think. Many of the stricken remain in Bandar's litter. Vasby does not know if supplies and shelter will soothe their anger, but we must try to make them whole again. Vasby thanks you, friend, for everything.
but you do not comprehend. Jamba and loose! Have you learned your lesson yet? Gardner, before I! Ignorant beasts! Death is never the end.
Kingdom of artistry. Rachin studied there as a painter for one single day. This may or may not have something to do with a rather pretty subject with rather little clothing.